Whoo! Jump in here. Give it a little yeah. Give it a little yeah. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, let's talk. Action. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sam Downey here. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at SamDowney44. Also, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel right here. That's youtube.com/SamDowney. So today I'm going to be talking to Abrian. They're a non-binary person and they use neopronouns as well as like gender neutral pronouns. So I'm pretty excited to understand why Abrian uses neopronouns as well. Because we all know, neopronouns, it's not a new concept, but at the same time, it's not a lot of people use neopronouns. For example, myself, I haven't actually gotten a lot of practice using neopronouns for someone. So, I do find that concept really interesting as well, just like using neopronouns in day-to-day life and just like in queer spaces and that kind of stuff. So yeah, we're gonna be talking to Abrian today. They're gonna go over just kind of why they use neopronouns and also just like why neopronouns, it's not a big deal basically, and just going over some of the stereotypes behind neopronouns and like debunking those as well. So I'm pretty excited to share with you guys this interview. I thought it was really interesting. As you can tell, I was like super interested in the whole entire conversation. So let's just skip to the intro. Let's just skip to the interview. Yeah. See ya. So I'm here with Abrian. Abrian basically reached out to me. Yeah, honestly, I'm really excited for this interview as well. Abrian uses neopronouns. What neopronouns do you use?
I kind of like use any. I really don't care, but I guess my like favorite one is like Fay Fair, which like there's kind of two ways to use it. You can almost use it like she, her, or they, them. So like just like instead of like the like sh and like she, her, replace it with the a and kind of like use it like the same thing. Same thing with like they, them. Instead of the th, use an fa. And I really don't care either way. That's like I guess one of my preferred ones, but like I really don't care. I find them all
Cool.
very interesting and cool.
Yeah. And I guess like why don't we start from like the beginning? So like when did you like come out? When did you realize that you wanted to use neopronouns and like that was the most validating thing for you?
Like when I originally came out or when I came out to using like neopronouns.
Let's start from originally came out. Yeah.
I originally came out when I was like mm, 16, 17. That was back in like 2015, 16, somewhere around
Okay,
there.
yeah.
That was like kind of, I guess, when I just discovered like non-binary identities. And like I guess like I kind of remember always like feeling that way, especially like I have memories specifically at the age of 8 and 11 where two separate like incidents happened, but I didn't have like the language for that yet. So at like 2000 like 15, 16 is when I just like came across the language.
And then when you first came out, I guess, did you use like different pronouns or did you just kind of stick with your like birth pronouns for then realized you wanted to change your pronouns?
I used strictly they, them
Mm-hmm.
for a while until like more fairly recently when I added like I'm like okay, I'll add like they, he, and then I'm like all right, they and neopronouns, and then I'm like all right, basically what it came to is any pronoun except she.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Like she isn't the like it's kind of a basic pronoun anyway. So, no one wants to use that. So yeah, like I understand that concept. I guess when you started using neopronouns, did you find people like jumped on it pretty quickly, or like was it a challenge for people to use neopronouns, or did a lot of people like play it safe and just keep on using they them or like using your name? Like how was that experience for you? Because like yeah, no, I've never used neopronouns, so it is
Um,
interesting.
I only use neopronouns in queer safe spaces.
Oh, okay.
Not because I think like my family, for the most part, is pretty accepting. And not that I think that they wouldn't, I just think it would just be like so difficult for kind of like their cis brains to wrap or get it wrapped around. Like my dad already has like trouble with like they, them, even though like he really tries. Like he always says like he's trying, he just slips up a lot. So like I don't want to put something like completely new on the table for them. I mean, my dad has talked to me like where he works in like the healthcare system. So like in New York City, so it's like very like queer friendly there. And like he's gone to these like meetings where it's like how to be more accepting to like queer and trans people. And like I remember he like one time came home to me and he's like, "Did you know there's pronouns that are like Z0?" And he was like so excited. He found them so cool, which is like cool. I know that he's accepting of that. I just feel like it would be really challenging for him to constantly use it.
Yeah, no, that's good to hear though that like he is really trying though, and I feel like that's like the main thing is like as long as you're trying, like I don't know, there's this big misconception about like trans people sometimes where like even if you're trying and you still like mess up, like we're still gonna get like super mad or like triggered. But it's like in the end, like really what it comes down to, as long as you're trying and like you're showing that you're supportive, it's like that's all that really matters in the end. And you know, after a while of practicing and everything, that's when it comes in and it will be that's when it's like it's natural then basically, but you just have to like try basically.
Yeah.
I would say, do you have any other friends that use neo-pronouns or are you the only one that really uses neo?
No, I used to go to kind of like a queer trans youth group that I just have not been able to get to because of work and school and stuff lately. And there's a misconception definitely with neopronoun users that it's like, oh, they're all like minors and they're kids that are going to grow out of it. The first neopronoun user I came across in that group was like over 30 years old. So
Hmm.
like that kind of like opened my eyes a bit to that, and also xenogenders. Z used xenogenders as well. So like that kind of just like opened my eyes to it a bit. I was like, huh, that's interesting. Because like at first I was like, I kind of was like still in the trans medical like mindset a bit. And I was just like slowly being pulled out of that. And like I have friends that use like neo pronouns. Uh, I have one that uses also Fay Fair. Another one that made up neo pronouns for himself. He goes by Eeks, like supposed to be like he calls them his spooky pronouns.
Oh, love it.
And trying to think, I another friend who I believe mainly goes by Z0 is a different friend from like the person who was over 30. I haven't been there in a while though, but those are like the main people I remember.
Cool. Yeah. Honestly, it is interesting because, like, I gotta admit, like, I always did think that, like, people that use neo pronouns would have been part of like the younger generation. That
Mhm.
was just like me think, like, I didn't even like research or anything, but like, I just kind of thought, like, oh yeah, like that's more of a younger generation thing. But then you bring up that people in like, their late 20s, 30s, like you seem like around my age, like mid 20s, basically. Like, yeah,
Oh,
no, it's crazy. Yeah, like,
oh, oh yeah, I just remembered. I have a friend that I talk to outside of that group. Um, uh, she uses vamp self pronouns, and
mm.
she's like in her late 20s, almost 30 as well.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's really cool. Yeah. Do you think that, neo pronouns in the future might become more popular, or do you think still people are going to stick with like, using maybe they them and like the kind of the OG pronouns?
I think it's gonna slowly become more popular, especially with like the more, I guess, common neopronouns like Z zir,
Yeah.
because I have seen that option on like where I work at Petco, and like for the pronoun pickers, I've seen that there. So I think that one definitely is going to become more like a common pronoun and probably lose its neo pronoun like status. because I feel like we really just like identify neopronouns, not only like that they are new, but like how often they are used in society. Because there's a neopronoun that's thon self, which came out like a really, really long time ago. Like it was either in the 19th or 20th century, where I forgot who created it, but like it was trying to be like a gender neutral pronoun. It was a combination of that one self, and it didn't exactly catch on, but it's considered a neo pronoun now. It doesn't really, even though it's old, it's just because it's not used a lot.
Mm. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, actually. Like neopronouns, like it's not like a new concept. It's just kind of like the pronouns that weren't used as much in society, so people think
Yeah.
it's a new concept. Like, because yeah, I've talked to so many people, and they think that like neopronouns is basically this like new concept that just started like in the late 2010s, basically. But it's like, it's been around for a long time, basically.
Yeah,
This is an OG concept, like.
definitely. She, her used to be neo pronouns because originally there was only he, him. But like trying to remember, it was like so long ago that she, her came out, but those used to be new pronouns in society. Same with they, them. Those used to be neopronouns as well, but they're no longer neopronouns because they caught on to society and we just kind of use them in
Yeah.
everyday society. But the one that really didn't catch on was the thon self one. So that's
Mm.
still like a neopronoun. And I mean, I've seen it, I guess, one of the more common neopronouns as well. So it might catch on like within the years coming up.
Cool. Yeah. And I guess like I don't know, like I guess we got to bring it up, like, there's a lot of like I guess hate or almost like not understanding neopronouns that happens. I see a lot of stuff on like social media where it's like, people love to bash neopronouns. Like what do you
Hmm.
have to say to like those kind of people? Like I think a big concept is basically a lot of people think that if you don't use someone's neopronouns, they're going to get like triggered. And then you brought up the point about how you really only use neopronouns in queer spaces. Like, what do you have to say to like those kind of people and like how they look at neopronouns and people that use neopronouns?
I feel like it's a like misunderstanding of how language works, because I have seen like people on like people's profile comment, like on social media profiles comment like, oh, you have neo pronouns, I'm not listening to you, while they're just pronouns in like another language, where it's like it would be he, him in a different language. So it's
Yeah.
like I think it's just an ignorance on how language works. I am a language major, so I find like language changing over time and how it differs from culture to culture interesting. So like and I also think like most neopronoun users have a set of like I guess typical pronouns that they use in like their everyday situations. I feel like the only times that I use them are like online and in real life, like queer spaces. If like nobody's gonna get mad at you in like real life if they say like, hey, I use neopronouns, and you're like, oh, I don't understand those yet, like I'm just gonna use the uh like default, I guess, pronouns that you gave me, the ones that are more popular. I feel like it might be a little annoying because it'd be cool if people would try to learn, but like I at least would not be offended because I know that like it's still a fairly new concept despite it being like um having existed for a while. It's like only being brought out now into non-queer like spaces recently.
Yeah, and that's a good way of putting it, honestly. Like yeah, like I do find like everyone that I've never met someone in person that uses neopronouns, but online and stuff, I always find like someone that uses neopronouns might have like another set as well, like you know, using like they them or like one of the just like original or like OG pronouns, like the non-neos, the non-neos, that's what
Yeah.
we're calling them now, the non-neos. Yeah. Um, but honestly, like, thanks so much. Like, I feel like we learned a lot today from this. You know, I'm still even learning about like neopronouns. Like, it's still kind of a newer concept for me. Just because I've never really met someone in real life that uses them a lot. I think I might have like one friend that uses them, but we don't really like hang out that much. So
Mhm.
I don't really get to practice it a lot, but it is really interesting. Like, I guess like I don't know if you just wanted to like, what is your like gender identity and like your terms that you use? Just if anyone was wondering.
I usually I trans mask, kind of, I guess, gender fluid trans mask, where my gender identity kind of is all over the place and fluid, but like never girl or like woman aligned or whatever.
Mm,
I know there's like a more specific term for that, which is gender fawn. It's like under the gender fluid umbrella, but a lot of the times people don't like know what that is. So I just say gender fluid trans mask.
cool. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, I see the gender fluid flag too. Yeah, it's you know, represent. I gotta get one. Like I only have a trans and non-binary one, but I want to get a gender fluid one. You know, put it up on the wall and stuff, pin it up. Yeah, that's what we gotta do. Honestly, thanks so much. Like, I think everybody really appreciates this. I feel like it's gonna be a great interview. Like, I feel like, you know, people are really gonna like this, and they're gonna learn a lot as well. Because, you know, here at the Sam Downey clan, we're all learning. We all want to be like, you know,
Mhm.
open-minded and inclusive. So like it's really awesome to see. And it's really cool to see that like someone watches my YouTube channel that uses neopronouns too and like enjoys it. Like I was like, yeah. I was like, whoa, that's pretty sick. Like, because like I don't know, I'm learning my like fans as well, like, you know,
Mhm.
what their backgrounds are and everything like that. So it's really cool to see. But yeah, no, thank you so much. Like, thank you. Like, this was
No
awesome.
problem.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you want to follow Abrian on Abrian's, you know, social medias and stuff, those links will be in the description as well. Thanks so much for doing the interview. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, and make sure to follow me on Instagram at SamDowney44. Join my Discord server. Oh yeah, we did Instagram first. Wow, interesting. Yeah, and also make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel right here. That's youtube.com/SamDowney. I'm posting videos here all the time about like trans stuff, so make sure to do that. And yeah, really besides that, I think that's this video, guys. Thanks so much. Catch you guys next time. Peace.